Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks and another random destruction. And I know it's not normally something I'd put up on a Friday, it's normally XCOM, but I've just not had time, unfortunately, to do it. But I will carry on with that, and I'll try and get caught up a bit for those of you that do enjoy the XCOM videos. Now I'm here in the KV4 on Abbey, and it is a Tier 8 match. And both of these replays were saved on my PlayStation 4 hard drive, which is why the quality might look a little bit different. And this one was a week or so ago maybe, and the capture card just crashed partway through, simple as that. And the next one, it was just one of those, I don't seem to be having the same sort of problems with the capture card, it seems to have maybe sorted itself out a bit. But the next one, it's in the T28, standard T28 TD. And it was just at a point where I was basically ready for turning everything off, and I'd sort of disconnected everything, shut down my capture card software and what have you, and I just thought, oh, I'll just jump in the T28, just try and get the daily double done before I turn it off, you know, and just do one last match. And I should have learnt by now, really, because every time I do something like that, you know, and I'm not recording it, that's when something interesting happens, and it did. So that's why that one was like that. But anyway, back to this one. As I said, top tier in the KV4. This is just before a game or two, maybe, before I got enough XP to actually unlock the STI. It was definitely one of my last games in it. And it's a bit of an odd one. A lot of back and forth and sort of lumbering from one place to another in this. Sort of things just went a bit weird. Now, as you can see, I mean, I was going to go down the western side, the opposite side to the river, to give a bit of backup there, but then I saw that huge clump of enemy tanks in the town, and there's a few on the riverside, on the eastern side, and a hell of a lot of them in the town, and it almost looked like that was basically the majority of the enemy team. So I turned around to try and, you know, come at them, maybe block them, do a bit of damage like I've done, and see what happened. But then, as you can see down that western side, further down the map, around the FG12 area, there are now some enemy heavies. So I've kind of left the light tank. Yeah, it's just one of those situations, you know, where you make a judgment call. It seems to be the right call, and then it turns out that maybe it possibly wasn't. And I actually thought I was really going to take a hit, try and turn around and get around there, because there's a Panther 2 around there, just around the corner. And I did think he was actually going to come after me once he saw me going. But I can't leave the TD and the light tank on their own. I've got to go and try and back them up. Is there a medium down there? It looks like it, yeah. It was difficult to see them on the map, actually. With the map being so small in the preview window. But yeah, there's a medium down there as well, but I couldn't really just leave them to the fate. It looked like they were trying to fight off a couple of heavy tanks. So I thought I'd go and lend a hand and hopefully not take a hit from that Panther 2 in the backside as I'm coming down here. I really did think that he was going to come after me, but it looks like, if you look at the map, it actually looks like he's got enough trouble with a TD in our cap, or in our cap area, should I say. Although, maybe not at the moment. But now I'm down here, I'm going to play aggressive, and it's against a Tiger. Yeah, I was expecting maybe a pen. I thought he'd probably switch to his premium ammunition. I was trying to keep the low glazes angled against him, but he penned me, and now his aim is not quite as good. It seems like he might be panicking slightly. I probably would be. And as soon as I reloaded, he's done. But yeah, sometimes I do just like to play, especially tanks like the KV4, like sort of very, very aggressively. Just keep charging forwards at people like that. You know that you're pretty confident that they're going to bounce most of the shots, unless they do swap to the odd premium round, which does happen. He did get one through, like I say, so I'm going to do the same thing with the Panther 2. Maybe not the best idea. I took another hit there, but who cares? Let's just go for it. We're being capped. Something needs to be done. I have taken another hit from the Panther 2, but he's going to be dead way before I am. There you go. Got finished off by was it the medium tank? I think that's what it was on there. But yeah, we are in danger of being capped out now, and I actually thought we were going to get capped out at this point. I didn't think I'd be able to get back in time. There is only one in there, so it gives a fair chance, but I just expected it not to happen. I just expected either the medium or the TD to run into something, or me not to quite get back in time or something, and it just not happen, and us end up getting capped out. But as it happens, I did manage to get back in time. They did manage to get close enough to spot the Tiger 2, and even though I didn't pen, I hit his tracks, and that was enough. That's the thing, to get rid of the damage from a tank that's capping. You don't actually have to pen it, even if you just hit the track, even if you just damage the tracks like I did, it's enough. So sometimes, and I think, you know, I said this before, and I used to carry a couple of HE shells on every tank that I go in, and I used to, and I don't anymore, and it's a habit I've got out of. But sometimes, you know, and there is an argument for this, it might be worth having a couple of HE shells on you, no matter what tank it is, just a couple of HE shells, and if you're having to rush back to reset cap, you flick to HE. You know, if you're not sure what's there, and if you hit them with an HE, you're going to do, even if it's 1 damage, it's enough to reset that cap. So, I don't know. There is an argument for that. I don't do it anymore. I used to do it. I used to carry, like I say, a couple of HE on every tank, and I don't bother anymore. Now what I generally do is, if I've got to rush back and reset cap and I've got no clue what's in there, I'll quite often, or usually if I remember, that is, yeah, don't always remember, again, I suppose it depends on what tank I'm in and what tier it is. You know, if I'm a top tier, I'll just stick to my AP, unless I've got a tank with pretty poor AP sort of round. But if not, in your bottom tier, just switch to a premium. That's what I do now, and there's a good chance that you're going to be able to pen them, or at least damage the tracks. But now it's all even, 12 kills apiece, so 3 tanks left on each team, and yeah, ironically, a medium, a heavy, and a TD on both teams. Now, again, I've done a bit of back and forth, not really left this eastern side, but I've come along the top, and I'm glad that the medium stayed by cap. Usually, I would say you want to try and stick together, but it's pretty even. And I don't know why I didn't check. Do you know, I'm terrible for that. I'm really bad for not checking what's left when it's a situation like this, and I don't know why I don't do it. I think I just forget, and I'm sort of concentrating too much on trying to figure out where they might be, or what it is and what have you. But there's an IC 130. I can't remember what the heavy tank is, but I'm glad the medium tank stayed back, because I had a horrible feeling that I'd get all the way down this end of the field and they'd start capping again. So I am glad that the medium stayed back there just to cover cap. The T29 is the heavy. He's a one shot. In fact, that STB. No, that is TB. Can't be an STB. What is that one? STA. I'm saying STB. That's a tier 10. Yeah, that STA1. He's not going to take much damage to get rid of him either. There's just that ISU 130 left somewhere. He's the one that I'm concerned about. Although having said that, the STA, the gun's not bad on it, but he's now done. The medium actually came through into the town and took him out. I missed him doing that on the map, but yeah, that was a good call to come through there. Obviously he'd seen everybody was down that end and came to join us. But yeah, a little bit of back and forth, which can be frustrating when you're in something as slow as the KV4. But turned out to be a pretty nice match. Overall, a high caliber, only first class, a bit more on my 2 marks of excellence, which is lovely. Steel wall, 4,700 damage done, and 1,850 blocked as well. The 126,000 credits, yeah, there's a few ops on there, as you can guess, but still not enough for a first class. So I was a little bit surprised at that, but then again, that was, I think, a daily double that bonus. So yeah, 1,600 base isn't quite enough for an ace in the KV4, or not this week at least. Anyway, it's on a sort of rolling reset. I think it's a 7-day one, so sort of every day it sort of knocks the 8th day off, if you see what I mean. And, you know, it doesn't reset every 7 days. I think it just sort of rolls on. So it's whatever it was for the previous 7 days, something like that. But I'm just starting to ramble a bit now anyway. Right, back to this one. This is the one that I said earlier. I just decided to have one last match after I disconnected everything, and should have learned by now. So yeah, T28, tier 8 match again. It's an encounter, and it's on Ardennes, summer variant. And this was just one of those that it was gutting at the end. It really was just a bit gutting. So I don't know. I really should watch this again before I did this, because I can't remember. I seem to have in my mind that it was a bit up and down, this match, sort of, you know, like we could win at one point, then like we could lose, and then, you know, we could turn it around, and I don't know, just from memory I remember it being a bit up and down. However, that could have just been my emotions through this, getting a bit frustrated here and there, and like, you know, can't believe that missed, can't, you know, that sort of thing. And it might have just felt a bit up and down for me. But anyway, let's see what we can do. Now, I've come to this end of the town. One, because usually there's a few enemy tanks that come around here. There's a few allies that have come with me and pushed on a little bit, which is nice, because it means that I can come down this central road, which has a really nice view into the capture circle. And quite often, the enemy tanks will come across like that. I will misjudge, because the T-71 decided to come up this road instead of straight across. And I missed him, and then I just cannot seem to hit the little git. Yeah, poorly aimed. Getting a bit frustrated at that point. I think I do hit him later on. And that was poorly aimed on the 110. Unfortunately, I've got the capture flag, or the base flag, in my view. Now, I know I can shoot through it. That was annoying. Then again, it happens. You know, he came straight out of there. It was just bad timing. But yeah, I know I can shoot through that, but it's just obscuring a little bit of where I couldn't, you know, with with the lamppost and everything, I couldn't quite determine the angle that he was at, and I was trying to sort of hit the lower glacis, or trying to hit that flatter part, just on the shoulder, if I remember rightly, on the 110. But I managed to get a couple of shots in the end into his lower glacis, and he starts backing off now. Yeah, risky. That was a bit risky. It felt like there was some, you know, I was about to take a shot in the side there, but I needed to come down this way, because those guys that carried on across out of the town as I first went down that central road, they've run into trouble, and yeah, there's just a medium left there now. I think there were two mediums and a heavy. Now there's just a medium. I did manage to get one into that T-71, as you saw. I managed to do some damage to him. Yeah, donk into the floor. Well, not so much donk, just not fully aimed. But yeah, I managed to do a bit of damage to that T-71, and he got taken out a second later. And now this ML1, I'm going to put it through his lower glacis. Oh, that was unfortunate. Bit of a mercy roll there, but again, he gets taken down, so that's another gun off the battlefield. Yeah, that was a nasty one, wasn't it? I was just turning to go and try and give that medium a hand, but unfortunately, I've got a box tank on my side. Now, it's going to be easy to kill, but it can still do some damage, as you saw when he hits you, and I gave him my side like a noob. My own fault. I did see, you know, he was on the map for me to see. I just honestly didn't think he'd have a line of sight on me at that point. I don't know why, but yeah, I did take a hit there. And yep, just taken another one from a Ferdinand, which has popped up, and that really frustrated me, and I needed to just get the hell out of there. And it was yeah, it wasn't very nice making that little journey there, knowing that Ferdinand is somewhere. Well, I know where he is, I can see him on the map, and he had a line of sight on me before, and I'm just hoping he doesn't anymore, because he could take me down quite easily. And now I've got to try and take on a Borsig as well, who, again, I've not got very good health. I'm not sure what gun he's using, whether it's the 128 or the 155, is it, that the Borsig gets? But to be honest, he could probably flick to HE if he's got any, and take me down. And from his raised angle there, he's probably got a better shot on the top of my tank, my commander's hatches. It could even just switch to a premium, and to be honest, there's a few places on the front of this it could just put it straight through, maybe. So yeah, it was it was a bit sort of up and down. I just felt like from the moment that Ferdinand hit me, every time I came up, it seemed to come up against the tank, I just felt like I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And yeah, this Waffenträger, you see, I had the idea that he was going to come around behind me. He ducked off, waited to drop off, and was going to come around behind me, so I gave him the impression I was going to try and chase him. And then I thought I'll turn around and come back, because that's where he'll try and be. Now, he's not come out where I expected him to do, and I was actually considering and half expecting sort of a double bluff for me to turn around and head back this way and him to pop up behind me again, you know, sort of bluff me, you know, go as though he's going around behind me, and then actually double back on himself, but he didn't. But again, he's quick. Well, he's quick enough, quicker than I am. He's stealthy, and he was over here somewhere, and I really don't want to give him my sign, but I could really do with getting down to that cap, because we have, well, there's me and a heavy left, and then, yeah, the dread Borsig pops up on the side, and I don't know whether he just fired, or whether he wasn't quite sure where I was at first, but he missed an opportunity then. I'm not quite sure what went on with him. And now, unfortunately, there is only me left, and I donked the shot on the 1001p, which, yeah, could have probably done with not doing that. Managed to take out the Cromwell, but there's still the Ferdinand. There's a 1001p or 101p, whatever you want to call it. Do manage to get a shot into him, which again, frustrating. That, you know, that would have been a kill shot. Oh, got the Type 59. Can't quite get the shot on him, and then the Ferdinand just manages to take me down, unfortunately. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. If that Ferdinand hadn't have hit that shot, there's a good chance that I may have been able to take all of them down. Fingers crossed, you know, there's a chance. But yeah, absolutely gutted. But anyway, just over 5,300 damage done. Just over 4,600 blocked as well. And an absolutely gutting loss. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that episode. And yeah, my heart was pounding after that match. Just one of those really intense sort of moments. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that anyway. I'll be back tomorrow with LA Noire. And fingers crossed on Sunday with another video for you. So until then, have a great weekend. And take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.